the Mark Williams trade rescinded. All of a sudden, Mark Williams fails a physical. Dalton Connect ends up in Charlotte. And it's like, wait, I have to get on a plane back to L.A. First off, how awkward is that for both of those guys? They were both piecing out of there. The teams were like, adios, we don't need you anymore. We're trading you for picks and whatever else. And now they got to walk back in the building like, hey, guys, hi. It's like in The Office when Andy punches the hole in the wall and has to walk back in and be like, hey, sorry about that, fellas. Like, it's so awkward.
Not only is it awkward, but it's so obvious that the Lakers don't need Dalton Connect. Like the Lakers need a big man so bad, and they see him walk into the building, and you're like, dude, we don't need you here, man. We tried to deal you.
And from a player's standpoint, it's like, okay, this team already tried to deal with me. Am I really going to go out there and bust my ass for an organization that just literally got rid of me? And not even in a disrespectful way, but it's like, if you're Mark Williams, what do you do? If you're Mark Williams, what do you do? I think there's a really good chance we don't see him in a Hornets uniform, at least through the end of this year.
Oh, I don't hate that, because also Terrence Oglesby in the halftime show or post-game show, whatever it was for the Hornets local broadcast, it tore him to shreds in his last game in a Hornets uniform, saying this effort is pathetic. This guy has given up everything. You have way too much talent to be playing like this. You're still getting paid millions of dollars. You better, put in better effort than this. And you go to LA, you go, all right, I'm bought in. Like, we have a chance to win a title. Let's go. I get to play with Luka and LeBron, living legends. And then you're like, wait, no, by the way, buddy, you're going back to Charlotte. I mean, that's literally like you go to prison. You have a 3-year prison sentence, and you hop out for a day to have a little fun day, and then they're like, "Buddy, you got to go back in there." Like, sorry.
Sees a couple photoshops of him, LeBron, and Luka in Lakers jerseys. Gets all excited, and then
it's the Squidward with Patrick and SpongeBob meme.
Dude, he was tweeting purple and gold hearts. Like, he was so happy.
He was
man.
thrilled. Going to live in L.A.
Yeah, and you get to play with great players, and you're all bought in and everything. Because we touched on that, Chase, in the trade deadline show, where it's like, look, people were trashing on Mark Williams' defense. I think it's just a matter of he has zero motivation being on a tank team right now. So, therefore, you're not as bought in. I think he can be an elite defensive player. Now coming back to the Hornets, that body language is going to be at an all-time low, and it's going to be pathetic.
Is there any way this still goes through? Is there any way they come back and say, oh, we're going to amend it for this trade? It's the Lakers, remember. So I think there's a higher chance than normal that this could actually, something weird could happen here.
I didn't know you could rescind a trade. First off, I know you could in soccer, but I didn't know you could do that in basketball. I feel like anything's on the table, right, Chase?
You would think so. I mean, especially with the Lakers, like Connor's saying, they got special rules over there in LA. But at this point, and I mentioned this before we went to air, it doesn't make sense for the Lakers, if they're that desperate, to reject Mark Williams, because we were talking about it. He's playing real minutes. Whatever physical ailment he's suffering right now that made him fail that physical, doesn't seem like it's really bothering him. If you're the Lakers, you're like, we really needed that guy. And we can talk about the state of the Lakers later, but I don't understand from a Lakers perspective why they were so eager to just be like, okay, then it's not happening.
It must have been bad enough to blow up their entire plan at the trade deadline, because the whole way it was set up was, we're going to get Luka and get rid of AD, which makes us worse, obviously, at the center position in the short term, but we're going to go get a big in the trade market, in the buyout market, whatever. Mark Williams was probably one of the best options they could have gone and gotten. So for them to blow that plan up and that roster construction plan they had up like that, it must have been something serious. And the point that I just don't understand is, how is there not some kind of, I see Bobby Marks tweeted this, how is there not a third party that can just decide this? Like, pass this player on a physical, decide if he's healthy or not. Because if the Lakers 3 hours after the deal's made were like, wait, we probably shouldn't have given up that first round pick unprotected, what's to stop them from saying, yeah, he's hurt, and then just rescinding the whole thing?
So you'd like someone like the CDC to come in and say, hey, Mark Williams, you're good to go?
Some governing body. I love order.
Pfizer can get in there.
Pfizer, Moderna. They're probably
Travis
sponsoring
Kelce.
NBA games.
Johnson & Johnson.
Travis Kelce.
There's going to be an amendment after this season. I know there is, because there needs to be some sort of, like, the teams should have, like, both have to agree to this, right? So if one team is like, oh, he's not healthy, then you're kind of at a standstill. You're at a lockjaw where it's like, well, what are the Hornets supposed to do? Like, the Hornets passed him, and their medical team is not awesome. We've seen in recent history, but they passed him. So then what do you do?
It's kind of like dumping a used car, like, hey, that transmission's on its last leg. But, it's running great right now. Adios. I mean, the Hornets did that with Kemba Walker to Boston.
The Mavs just did it with Luka. They basically called him a fat alcoholic and sent him to LA and said, hey, we're done with you. Sorry, we can't do that with Mark Williams. It's not fair. The Hornets, it's not fair, guys. I finally like a deal. That the Charlotte Hornets make. I'm like, wow. Just from a value standpoint, from an asset standpoint, I'm like, wow, the Hornets actually might have won that trade. Like, they made the Lakers overpay for something they needed. We had the leverage.
So the issue I have with this trade too is, one, I did like the trade, but then when I really sat there and thought about it, I go, wait. The Hornets could have drafted Dalton Connect instead of this French linebacker. We could have just had him.
That would be stupid to draft somebody that knew how to dribble. What are we doing?
Gosh, man. Yeah, but on the Lakers side of this, one, Mark Williams, I don't know what's going on. They must have seen something in the physical. They're like, look, his feet are growing 5 different ways. I don't know. Something's going on. But it had to have been serious enough because the Lakers season is now a wash now, right? Who are they going to guard in someone's front court in the NBA playoffs at this point? If they're going up against Nikola Jokic, he might average 50, 25, and 20. It's that bad of a front court right now. It's Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood, and then LeBron.
Christian Koloko.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about here.
Rui Hachimura, get a few minutes on Jokic.
That's what I'm
saying. See what he can do.
Where do the Lakers go from here? Do you just commit to saying, hey, LeBron, rest up a little bit and let's just go all in on next season? We'll get someone in the summer, because this roster right now isn't built to win more than one round at best in the playoffs.
Not at all. And you're really missing out on an opportunity here, because you're going to have, my guess would be, a pissed off Luka, who's probably going to be more motivated than ever this last, 20-something odd games of the season heading into the playoffs. I'm not saying he's going to lose motivation for next season, but if you're the Lakers, you're in a real good spot. Plus, they're going to get a top 4 seed, potentially even climbing up to 2 or maybe even 1, depending on how the season goes, if they get Mark Williams and things like that. But you're right. This season's now kind of a wash for them. I know they're not going to see it that way, and they're going to try and compete, but without a center, they're going to be in a rough spot. I mean, you already explained it.
But the thing is, if you're the Lakers, I know, Carter, you mentioned they'll rest up for next season, and you're right. The lack of a center is going to hurt them. But you looked only a few years ago. You know that Mavericks team that Luka dragged to the Western Conference Finals and lost to the Warriors a few years ago? I'm pretty sure this Lakers team is a little bit better than Dorian Finney-Smith. Oh, wait, he's there. Maxi Kleber. Oh, he's there.
Jalen Brunson?
Not the Jalen Brunson of today, though, and not the Kristaps Porzingis of today.
That Utah series?
He was.
I went to that Utah game.
But this Lakers team has more talent than that Mavs team, I would argue. So if you're the Lakers, you can't just be like, we didn't get Mark Williams, let's chalk it up and run it back next year. They have to, if you have Luka and LeBron on the court at the same time in a playoff series, you're always going to have a chance.
That's fair, but I think the West is a lot better this season. You have OKC to deal with. You have your mortal enemy, the Nuggets, who always take care of you in the playoffs. And I just think the competition is a little bit better than 22 Warriors.
Or what about the Mavericks? How are they stopping Dallas?
They're kind of stopping themselves. First game, AD and PJ Washington go down.
That's fair. And Kyrie's looking over at Kanye West being like, huh. That's what you're doing over there.
His phone stared at him from the locker like a Green Goblin mask. Like, just come on, tweet something, please.
Yeah. What if Kyrie just tweets out eyeball emojis at Kanye tweets or whatever?
Collab soon with like the twist fingers emoji. I was going to say, if you're the Lakers, obviously they're going to attempt to kind of remedy this the best they can. I don't know where you turn to. We were joking before the show started where it's like, you're going to get somebody like an Alex Lynn or like a Cody Zeller or like like if Marvin Bagley got healthy or something like that, where you try to talk yourself into him, but it's not going to work. They're going to end up starting Jackson Hayes and then playing LeBron and Rui at the 2 front court positions and hope it works. You're maybe winning a first round series. Like if they go up against the Grizzlies or the Rockets, maybe.
And that's why this season, I think Carter and I are saying it is a wash. I mean, look at the market for buyouts. I have a list here. It's pretty awesome. Boucher, like you mentioned, Larry Nance Jr., Daniel Tice, PJ Tucker, and of course Mo Bamba.
Mo Bamba.
Mo Bamba's going back to the Lakers.
The problem is there's absolutely no shot that they can get someone to hold up them defensively. I mean, Carter and I talked about this. Your lineup could be Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Jackson Hayes. And if you are Oklahoma City, you are like licking your chops, looking to score 145 points that night. It's just, it's not there.
The problem in the buyout market, like you just read those names off, Chase, which one of those guys moves the needle over Jackson Hayes? None of them. It's really not even worth it. So if this trade is officially rescinded and it doesn't work, look, I'm never gonna doubt LeBron and Luka on the court together. We'll see how they fare tonight. It's his debut, but if those two guys are on the court, I feel like they always have a chance. But we've seen it time and time again. Nuggets, a team like that, you can't beat the Nuggets without a center.
Tickets are $50 for the game tonight. I'm tempted.
Is it in Utah?
Yeah, it's in Utah.
Karter, you should go. What are you doing?
I know. I'm tempted.
What are the odds they actually play? They say it's the debut.
playing.
They said that last weekend.
ESPN did buy the game again.
They're going to buy every game until Luka plays, so we're just going to sit back and see.
It's like LeBron broke the scoring record. It was just like every other game. They're like, maybe he'll do it tonight.
Yeah, and it's like me at the roulette table. It's like, no, red is happening. I promise, red is happening. It's just black and triple green zeros every time.
No, the questionable tag's a formality, I swear.
The biggest winner of this trade getting rescinded is everybody else in the Western Conference because, like, we've named all these teams, the Nuggets, the Thunder. What are they going to do against the Timberwolves? How are they going to beat the Timberwolves? I understand Luka owned them last year, but they're not stopping that team. Julius Randle's going to have a great time.
That was my argument
actually.
And that was my argument when we talked about the Luka trade when we reacted to it the night it happened, Karter, where, yes, for the next 8-10 years, it's an amazing move to get Luka on your team. You do it every time. But in the short term, for this year, I don't think he gives you a better chance to win a title or make the finals than Anthony Davis does with this roster construction. So you're right. I think you're right.